Welcome back, my fellow witch bitches. So, on today's episode of Universe TV, I'm planning on doing a Witch 101, a Witch Basics video. If you have ever had any inkling to try out the pagan witchcraft lifestyle, this might be a good place to start. I'd like to preface this video by telling you that everybody practices in their own way, and the way that I practice might not be the technical by the book way, but it's 90%, not even, I would say 100% of witchcraft is all about your intentions and what you put out there in the world. So if you manifest it, so to speak, that is how you receive results from the things that you plan on doing. So, preface, I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just showing you the things that I have learned to help you on your journey. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, our little introduction, why don't we just go ahead and jump right in. I have lots of information to share with you and some things to show you. So, let's just go ahead and go for it. Yeah. So I said this a little bit in the preface, and I just want people to recognize that witchcraft is not an exact science. I believe that magic is just a science that humans don't understand yet. Humans are such incredible and complicated creatures. The way that we work, the way that the universe works, we don't know. We were all at one point in time just like stardust floating through the universe, which sounds super stupid and cliche, but it's the truth, because in the Big Bang Theory, not the show, the actual Big Bang Theory, the Big Bang was pretty much matter, energy, time, space, all coming together, and that's what created Earth, including life. So because of the fact that the Earth was created and it became a hospital environment for life, that is how we became created, I suppose, or how we evolved, whatever you believe in. If it wasn't for the fact that the Earth was formed, we would not be here, obviously. Everything around us came from a place at one point in time that we just don't understand. There's no way for us to comprehend where everything came from, and I believe that the part of that is magic. So, with that being said, once again, magic is a science that we don't understand, and magic has 90% to do with the intentions that you put out into the world. So if you want to make a sour jar, you put bitter and sour things, and your intentions for the person specifically is for bitter and sour things to happen to them. If you want to protect your home, you imagine like a little bubble around your house and no negative energy there. And it's literally about just what you manifest and what you put out into the world. Another thing to think about is what you might feel a pull to more in your practice. So it's like finding your path. So some people work exclusively with specific deities. There's loads to choose from. Do your research if you're looking on, if you feel a pull towards somebody specifically, like Athena or Lilith, or I don't know, there's lots. There's plenty of them. Do your research and figure out the path that you might want to follow. Some witches, including myself, don't follow any deities. I gravitate towards certain symbols and signs. For example, I really gravitate towards the triple moon symbol and then pentagrams. The triple moon symbol just represents the goddess. So that's usually when I am doing magic work, I call upon the goddess or the spirit to help guide me. I would say that I am agnostic fairly, leaning more towards an atheist witch, if that makes sense. So I don't really believe in like higher powers. I do believe that there are spirits that hold presence over our world and the things that we do. But I don't believe in like creationism. I don't believe that there's one almighty by any means. I think that it's kind of like Hercules, where they're all just sitting up doing or roaming around the earth doing whatever they're doing, and there's many. Excuse the stray over there, she's making a lot of noise. But yeah, it's important to, I don't really, there's no right way to practice. If you feel the need to follow someone and to have like a name to call out, if you don't feel right saying spirits, can you guide me, or gods or goddesses, protect me, or what have it, you might be leaning more towards working with a specific god or goddess. So that's just something that you should probably look into a little bit more. I personally have never looked into that. So now that I talked about that a little bit, we can talk a little bit about symbols, I guess. So a lot of people gravitate towards symbolism. Like I said before, I gravitate towards the triple moon symbol, goddess symbol, and then pentagrams. Occasionally I gravitate towards the triquetra, but that has more to do with like a family thing than it does to my actual practice individually. Like I have the triquetra tattooed on the top of my foot, and I'll put a little picture right about here of what the triquetra looks like. And everybody has probably seen it, they just don't realize what it's called. It's also called the Holy Trinity knot, because when Catholicism kind of took over like Celtic beliefs, the Trinity is the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah, so symbolism might be something that you need to look at. There's also numerology that, which I have not looked at, but I do have a specific number that pops out to me a lot. So I'm sure that there's some meaning behind it. If there anybody who's watching this who knows numerology, my number is 121. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It comes up as like our 1121. It's always that 121. I see that all the time. I don't know what that means. If somebody would like to give me some insight, I'm all open to learning. There's so many different things. There's so many different paths that you can follow. There's so many different symbols, things that mean certain things to some people, mean certain things to different things to other people. I do not want to play right now. Really? This is my life. Now let's move on to things that you might need for spells, or things that might hold meaning in your craft. I have with me candles, spell candles specifically. They say it's 20 chime/spell candles. And then my little bag or tote thingy of crystals and stones and things like that. And then this is a chakra bag, moon water, and then some sage or protection burning things. Candles are pretty basic for anybody wanting to do any sort of spell work. Certain colors mean certain things. That's something that I could go into for a very long time and what they mean, and I'll list everything off. But I just suggest looking it up. You can find plenty of great websites that are reliable sources for these sorts of things. Honestly, Pinterest, there's plenty of witch boards out there for Pinterest. It is important to know that if you don't have any other colors, but you have white, that white can be used universally. You can literally use white for everything and anything as long as you project the intentions. So like if you want to use it for a love spell, that's fine. If you want to use it for protection, that's fine. If you want to use it for A money spell, that's fine. That's a good, just having some, go to Dollar Tree, get some white candles just to have in your arsenal. Next, so I have some stones and crystals. I'm not a huge stones and crystals person. I do have certain things that I use more than others, which I didn't bring out here. But specifically my red jasper and a selenite charging disc that under a full moon I put it out there, and then it's supposed to help the red jasper absorb the energy of the moon. The reason why I have red jasper is specifically because I'm very empathetic and I feel other people's emotions highly. And it's especially with how the world has been this year, I have felt them so intensely this year that I thought I was going to have a mental break at one point in time. I probably did have a couple of minor ones. That helps to absorb some of those energies. It helps to kind of block the empathetic path, I suppose, so that way you're not feeling all of these negative energies all the time. Amethyst also, which I believe is supposed to be for protection. Some rose quartz. I have a lot of rose quartz. Rose quartz is also another one that is supposed to help with empaths. And then I think I have some clear crystal quartz in here. But clear crystal quartz acts the same way as white candles do. You can use clear crystal quartz for anything and everything. So if you want to use it for what I just said about the empath thing, as long as you like recognize that this is what this is supposed to be for, then it helps. To go along with my crystals, I also have this book, Crystals for Beginners, the guide to get started with the healing power of crystals. I believe, I don't remember if I got this gifted to me or if I picked it up off of Amazon, but either way I will drop the link down below if you're interested in picking this up. It is a good resource. I find it easier when it's literally, like, it's not a book that you have to like really read. You can look up what you want. It's more of like an index kind of a thing. Okay, so another thing that is pretty good for your craft is learning herbs and their properties and what they can be used for, their medicinal purposes maybe. I didn't bring my herbs out here because that would be a lot. But there's plenty of herbs that have a lot of benefit. To help you with this, I would suggest this book. It's called The Green Witch, Your Complete Guide to the Natural Magic of Herbs, Flowers, Essential Oils, and More. But this book also has sort of an index type feel to it where you can look up everything. So like this says, ginger, wild or cultivated ginger root is an ideal herb to add to rituals and spells because it acts like a booster for the power involved. So if you're trying to do something that might take a lot of energy and a lot of intention, then adding ginger to your spell could work. This also has different like tea recipes that might help you. Also, something that I know that a lot of witches who smoke weed might do is mix certain herbs in with their marijuana. I personally don't smoke weed. And I'm part of quite a few witch groups on Facebook, and I have seen like many conversations about this. So it's pretty neat to learn what can and can't be done. Along with herbs comes things like protection. So specifically one that everybody has probably heard of is sage. So I brought out here my little jar of sage sticks, and then there's one stick of Palo Santo in there too. This one I did buy from a local metaphysical shop. So this is just a sage stick. I have burned this one with rainbow colored rose petals on it. And then there's the Palo Santo in here, which it looks more like Palo Santo looks more like a piece of wood that you burn. This is what Palo Santo looks like. There's fuzz stuck on it. Yeah, that's what the Palo Santo looks like. This, I prefer burning when I know that Matt's gonna be home soon. because he doesn't like how sage smells. I have a plain old big bundle of white sage here. This one has not been burned yet. This I believe was a gift from my mom. I have a dragon's blood that came out of my witch's roots box. So dragon's blood sage is just white sage coated in dragon's blood resin. While white sage cleanses your space, dragon's blood sage will cleanse, heal, and protect you and the energy in your space. So dragon's blood is supposed to have a healing property with it also. So, I mean, that could be anything from mental health to actual like sickness, I suppose. Feel like it would help, then I strongly recommend adding that. I also brought out a jar of moon water. This is a pasta jar, don't come at me, okay? Use what you got. So pretty much anytime that I finish off a pasta sauce, I rinse a jar out, take the label off, and then I end up putting moon water in it. Or you simply make moon water by putting the jar outside and letting it charge under the full moon. I've also heard of people, if they leave it out all day for the full moon and then the sun in the morning, I've heard people call it celestial water. So I guess that's up to your own interpretation. If you want just moon water, then your intentions were to make just moon water, so that's what you made. But if you would like for it to have that extra power of the sun behind it also, then you could make celestial water. So moon water is not something that I have used a whole lot. I think that a lot of people use them for spell jars, making like a cleansing spray for their house, or like you can even just put it in, like if you're gonna mop and you wanna mop with moon water instead, then you just added an extra layer of protection to your house. So I've heard people talk about using it for their bongs. So a lot of witches are potheads. Whatever you feel like using water for, you can add it to your bath, whatever you would like. It's just kind of a universal thing. It's super easy to make. So like I literally just put it fill it with tap water, and then put it outside and ask the spirits to help me in making and preserving my moon water. Another very common thing for people to practice with witchcraft is astrology. Everybody knows pretty much what their basic signs are, you know, like sun sign. So I'm January 6th, and so I'm Capricorn, which I hold a lot of Capricorn tendencies, but not all. Most of my Capricorn tendencies have to do with my work ethic. My moon sign is a Pisces, and then what the hell is my rising sign? Scorpio? I believe my rising sign is a Scorpio, which all of those things, when I read them, they made sense. So I don't remember my entire natal chart right now. There are plenty of sources online. I will drop the link below for like one that I've used and found it fairly easy to read, because some of them can be pretty complicated to read and to understand. You can figure out your natal charts fairly easy online. All you need to know is where you were born, about what time of day you were born, and then obviously your birth date. It's like you have like an aha moment, like, oh, that explains why I act like this in this situation. Another thing to think about when starting your practice would be maybe to look into the Pagan holiday calendar. The Wheel of the Year is what it's called. There's Yule, which is the winter solstice, Imbolc, Ostara, which is the spring equinox, Beltane, which is May 1st, summer solstice, which is Litha. I'm not going to say this right, and I know I'm not going to say this right. There's, oh my gosh, I need to Google it. Lugnasad. It sounded so fake. Lugnasad. And it looks like what they promised of Lugnasad are the same thing, which that is held on August 1st. Mabon, which I already have a video for Mabon and what I did to celebrate it this year, is pretty much the autumnal equinox celebration. So that is from September, it's usually September 21st through the 27th, I believe. If you want to check that out, go ahead and check out my Pagan holiday series. Last week I just dropped one about Solomon. So, and then Solomon would be the last one. So Solomon is supposed to be the new year. So it's supposed to be the final holiday, and then Yule marks the very first holiday of the Wheel of the Year. I highly recommend taking the chance to research the holidays and what they mean and what they're celebrating, who they're honoring, things like that, just so you get a good premise. There's so much to learn when it comes to paganism. It's something that has been around way longer than Christianity, and it's pretty much where all of our basis for any European Christian beliefs, wherever they came from. That's where pretty much all of this came from. It's super interesting to look and see where we came from, and now that we're kind of coming full circle and that paganism is starting to gain a lot more followers again, people aren't so afraid to express the real freedom of religion anymore. Christianity does not suit everyone. Another great source that I have for spell work, I mentioned this book in my last video. It's Everyday Magic. Rituals, Spells, and Potions to Live Your Best Life. This is like aesthetic right here. This book is very pleasing to look at. It's matte black, and he's got the big old eyeball there. I just love this book. I love looking at it. I love having it on my shelf. The side of it is very aesthetic. This is just a great source to have for when it comes to spells and things like that. There's also other things in here. Days of the week and what they mean, sigils. There's a basic toolkit thing in here. Moon phases, like there's just a whole bunch of, this is a great source for starting out. Baby witches, I highly recommend this. I'm still fairly baby, but I have also grown up with this stuff, so it probably comes to me slightly more natural to somebody who is completely new to it. Facebook is another great resource, to be completely honest. There are plenty of Facebook groups that have plenty of willing people to help you with your journey. People ask questions, they get honest answers. They are just a group of people that genuinely cares about everyone else for the most part. You do have a few, obviously, you're gonna have trolls here and there. But yeah, I think I might do a part 2 of this video where I kind of talk about like old practices, like things from like, I'm talking legitimately like back in Salem days, like pre-Salem days. So if you want to see a part 2 to this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. I'm really excited to start this kind of journey with you and my followers. I hope that this has been somewhat educational for you. I will be dropping all the links below to the sources that I have been using. Honestly, the internet is your best friend when it comes to this. If you're a baby witch, like, do all the research you can. If anybody has any specific questions about things, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I will do my best to find you the proper sources or to answer as honestly and openly as I possibly can and give you my knowledge about it. It's so hard to pinpoint how to guide somebody in witchcraft when everybody's path is different. Everybody makes their own choices, free will. It's hard to guide somebody when you're not going to practice the exact same way that I practice. Like, my sister does not practice the exact same way that I practice. I will do my best to just share with you my experiences and my learning benefits, and you can take that as you will, I suppose. I hope that you witch bitches enjoyed this and that this was somewhat educational. Go ahead and give us a like, give us a thumbs up, share this video with your friend. I would really love to hit 100 subscribers by Christmas. By the new year at least, I would really love to hit 100 subscribers. If you like me and you like what you see, go hit that subscribe button. Please. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye! Sure to keep on subject. What's good on you, Andy? What are you doing? What are you eating? What are you doing? Sure, yeah. Oh, God. Okay, we're done. We're done. Go play elsewhere. Thank you.